gross.
GDP Live. Let me just say that. There we go. Gross Domesticated Podcast is live on Facebook now with new terms and services agreements. They have they can do whatever they want on my Facebook. I think I just let Zoom say, hey, can we just go through your Facebook? And I was like, yeah, go for it. So, hey, look for Zoom. Zoom's my co-host today. Today on the 19th. Oh, hey, tomorrow's a big day. Tomorrow's a big day. Tomorrow's the 420 or whatever. That's a big deal to a lot of people, but not really on the 19th, apparently. Today's apparently not as big of a day for drug heads. All you hippies and you people who imbibe the devil's lettuce. Hey, Ron. We got original Ron in the chat. We are live on Facebook and Instagram, both. At Baby Mermaid Productions on Instagram, on the Gross Domesticated Podcast page on Facebook. And if you ever want to join in live, you can join in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. and just chat along. You know what I mean? It's yes, it's also Hitler's birthday, Manny. That's correct. Manny pointed out the fact that it is Hitler's birthday. I don't know if he's a fan or if he's just pointing it out. There's a hold on, let me put this up. Share now and share to my story. Boosh. Okay. Just want to let everybody know that we're live. But Manny, what is that? Columbine too. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's really fucked up, isn't it? I think that was that. I wonder if that was that a Hitler thing? Did we ever find out about that? Did the Columbine kids like Hitler? Is that a good Google? I'm going to put that in there. Let me just see if that happens. Did the Columbine kids like Hitler? Let me just do a quick Google. See, now I'm focused. Like I was able to center myself. And I was able to go and not like, oh, you're going to go live. Cool. Like I like to go live and then they're like, and then I can, then I can start sorting things out a little bit. Smoke them if you got them. Manny says Hitler was referring to the Jews with that. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that's where the phrase came from. So Columbine shooting myths. Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold. The occult, like, I don't know. This is written on April 20th. They're published on April 20th, 2019. The Washington Post headlines were major. Come on, just it's like I need come on, Cliff Notes here. I'm not reading a whole article. Dressed in black, fans of Hitler, students were aloof. All these kids wanted to talk about was Hitler. All right, this is strange. That's a weird quote. All these kids wanted to do was talk Hitler. Pat, don't read that out loud. What? Oh, sorry about that. I thought you were just sharing interesting facts. I apologize, Manny. Either way, it's a weird holiday, I guess. It's a weird thing that means a lot to some people, but really not much to me. But today is Monday, and there's going to be a new episode of Falls Count Anywhere. Speaking of, while I got you here, Manny, just to let you know, update. Going to have that up this afternoon. I apologize for the delay, and also new episodes of Proper Ebonics every week. I believe Kirk is on vacation right now. He is in I believe the great state of Louisiana, and he is visiting his friends, I believe. I don't actually know what he's doing. This is none of my business. He's having a good time though. And the guy likes snakes. That's really interesting to me. I'm not judging anything. I love Kirk. Love Alan. They're both great. Love Manny. Love Youngblood. Love all the people I podcast with. There's a weird thing with like liking snakes. It's kind of, I don't know why. I don't think it's a bad thing, but and it's like a weird thing. Like embrace it though. You know what I mean? Like when I started to unironically wear headbands, like bandanas and shit like that, people commented on it, and I'm like, I think they're genuine, and they seem to like it. I wonder if I ended up doing a good thing, but it was something that I would definitely make fun of myself for doing. And you know what? I do have one. You do need that one friend at least, and I know this has been brought up in premises before, but like of the fact like having a friend to go like to be completely honest with you and not to hurt your feelings and not to insult you. I was talking about it with Andy a little bit yesterday about like relationships with friends and like different kind of things of like where you can have like where you have different relationships with different friends. So like so certain friends will say just project on you kind of a little bit and they'll also kind of um challenge you in that same way. So so you kind of have to have a friend like that. So when I know when I shaved my beard and I went with a mustache. Again, a lot of compliments. I particularly liked it, but I have a friend that kind of makes fun of me anytime I change something about myself when I started embracing my natural curl. And that's kind of how I know I'm doing the right thing too. If he makes fun of me, but like everybody else compliments me, I don't think like everybody else is like wrong and he's right. I think everybody else might be right. It's kind of majority rules in that situation. Of like, well, the majority of people that look at me seem to like it. You look at me, you don't love it. Hey, that's okay. I'm okay with that. And that's what's important. And I think that's really good to embrace in people. But I like that. I like that feeling, you know? this news, this is news to me. Sorry, Manny. I apologize. I did let him know. Pat, we all hate that. We all hate it. We're just playing a trick on you and saying we like it. That's even better, dude. Then I'm not like, then you guys are so thoughtful. You're thinking of me so much so that you want like this great, because you know I'm going to appreciate it. It's not going to kill me. I don't give a shit. Like that's the thing is people think like the like people's biggest fear, uh I think it's is it like the greatest fear even before death is like public speaking. Is that like most what how do I fuck do I Google that? Is it like a what is the most common fear? I think I nailed it. What is people's greatest fear? Like people's greatest oh shit fear question mark. And I this better yeah there we go. We got some people also asked. What are some of people's greatest fears? Blah blah blah. So number one, fear of failure. That is crazy, guys. That's crazy. 10 biggest fears that hold you back from living your best life. I gave away number one automatically, so I'm terrible at lists apparently. Um, but I always thought, all right, hold on. This might be a lame list. This might be like they just asked one like housing, you know, like they just asked one like fucking HOA this like list because it's like number one, fear of failure, fear of success. What? Fear of loss, duh. Fear of being judged. Like all these things are like I understand the mindset. I understand like that feeling because I definitely have struggled with that. But like after a while, you have to embrace your natural curl in every fucking way. Like that's fucking doing comedy like that. Once you start, like it's weird that like it's kind of like once you stop caring what people think, people start liking what you're doing. It's really weird. Hold on, let me move this a little bit because I gotta get over to the phone to move down. There we go. And don't forget, guys, if you ever want to join in to the show, GDPLive, if you're on Instagram, you can just ask to join, and I'll hit the button, and it's like calling in because you won't be saved on the video. I do erase the Instagram at the end, so you got to catch it live, and also your audio will be on the audio only later on, as well as the video on Facebook and YouTube. So if you ever want to join in, you can do that, or you can pound off on YouTube or Instagram. We got some pounding here. Original Ron Kane says, people are just enjoying the sexiness you are bringing. I appreciate that, Ron. And like, I feel like it's really weird to say, but I fucking feel sexy, dude. I like it. And you know what? If you don't think so, I don't give a fuck. Was gonna say this is the Seinfeld bit, but really any topic in the yeah exactly yeah anything just say a sentence or ask a question in the voice, and it's probably already an existing bit, and it's probably awesome. Seinfeld, guy's a wizard. Guy's a grand wizard of comedy. That's not a. He probably wouldn't appreciate that. Also, yeah, that's not right. He's the best. What was I meant that honestly? You know what? I meant that as a Harry Potter reference, but it definitely came off Ku Klux Klan. Whoops. Sorry. Did not mean that. Do not. I hate those guys and ladies, because there's ladies of the Klan too. I'm sure. That might be a funny sketch though. Ladies of the Klan. Was gonna say this is a Seinfeld bet. Yeah, but it's done at some point. What's the deal with fears? Yeah, but being afraid of like so it's I was talking about fears obviously, but there was I had a huge I had like a hesitation, right? I had a fear that was disguised as something else recently, and I really like had the desire to learn. I wanted to start learning like striking, MMA. I wanted to learn other martial arts like boxing, kickboxing, stuff like that. And uh, in that, like I had talked to Dominique about which I honestly at the time I truly thought, but I think now just with even realizing my hesitation, because I really had to self-assess recently and figure out why I wasn't, because I had all the information. It's offered at the same gym that I already train at. The people I train with are already like I really enjoy training with the people I train with. So I want to be able to why not continue the same success? Like uh at least, and especially with when it's like I'm being encouraged to. So it's like, okay, my instructor Jeff is my jujitsu instructor is professor is like very like he was very much supportive in that, and even in when I did tell him I wanted to start fighting, like he's like yeah absolutely, and I said he gave me advice, he let me know blah blah blah, I have some equipment, let me know also some other equipment I needed to get, all the information I needed, the guy's information that I would need to contact to say like if I had any other questions or fear whatever it may be. So but I just kept hesitating. It wasn't for a lack of time, it wasn't anything else, it was just me not uh like not going through with something that I wanted to do. So so yesterday, yeah, Sunday. So Sunday is now what I'm referring to as training day. It's a day where like I want to spend most of my time not looking at my phone, focusing on a discipline that challenges me. So something like striking was something that I took my first MMA class yesterday, and it was a lot of fun. I got I got basically I even and what I had to do before taking like before even taking that step, I wanted to yeah training day. It's my training day. Um, Pat, you and Ben Askren should both look into striking lessons. Yeah, well, yes, that's true, John. I and by the way, there was a question asked at the press conference after the Whitaker and Gastelum main event UFC this weekend, and they asked Robert Whitaker. Uh, he said, did you? Oh, by the way, during your main event, your 5-round main event, um, Ben Askren was knocked out in the first minute and a half of the boxing match between him and Jake Paul, and he goes, "Oh, really?" And he goes, and like the one comment, he kind of like went, and then like he said, "No one saw that coming." I don't know if he was being sarcastic, but nobody laughed, and I was like, I felt like I was shouting it from mountaintops. There was that like if you're going to Ben Askren for a boxing match, like I don't know why people. I guess the thing is like I think he could have continued fighting, and I think that's part of it. I talked about it a little bit on the episode of What About with Andy and Pat last night, and I said like it's basically the feeling I got was I don't think he can I don't think it was like him taking the shots from Robbie Lawler when he was fighting Robbie Lawler. I think he was probably concussed. I think he's able to recover well or able to fight well while he has a concussion. Like he just kind of has like I don't know if it's a chin thing. I think it's just a like and the when you're seeing him fight, like he's never been necessarily like someone that you would look at and go like, oh my god, peak. You know, there's plenty. The guy's been made a meme a million times over, and it's not that. I'm not here to like. I'm not critiquing Ben Askren. I'm saying that as far as somebody who has been training boxing and somebody who like I don't even think I don't know how I'm sure he trained when he was in MMA, but I don't know if he ever like actually like focused on that. And that's because that's not his strength. Like you don't in MMA you don't have to do that thing. You don't have to but like when I saw I talked about I think I definitely talked about it on the show, probably to a bunch of people that don't give a shit. But when Ben Askren fought Damian Maia and they were strictly just standing up the whole time. And I'm like, these are grapplers. You're both grapplers. Just grapple. Fucking get down there and grapple. God damn it. At least ground and pound for fuck's sake. Like you can I think even maybe the most inexperienced person can mimic a hammer fist. Like that's literally hammer. Like act like you're hammering. Act like you're hammering, but like you never actually bent it. Like act like you're hammering a wall right here. Bam, bam, bam. That's it. Slam fist. So I don't know. There's just a weird thing that like, but Jake Paul, excuse me, I'm getting choked up about this. Jake Paul like has been training. I don't necessarily like either one of them. I think I don't mind Ben Askren. I think I like him because he likes disc golf. That's why when I was like I was picking fighters when I was like, man, he definitely if I'm gonna try to like I'm not a person that thinks he's like Conor McGregor. I maybe have that attitude every once in a while, but I very rarely. I don't have that confidence. I don't have the desire for the riches necessarily either. Like I don't necessarily it's not like that like they're all it's weird because like at that level they're all professional fighters. It's kind of like baseball players. Like it's all then it's like personality. Then it's how what you do with it. So like it's to say you don't like somebody. I totally understand somebody saying they don't like somebody because their personality, but like I would never criticize. So even Ben Askren had like look man, he only had like 2 losses in MMA. Fuck it, man. Then yeah, he's a successful fighter. I can't but that's what I was saying. When you're going into boxing, then I'm like, no. This is strictly Kumite rules is where he's successful. When he can go into the blood sport and he can say, I can take on any other kind of fighter, brawler, a fucking boxer, whatever. And all I have to do is take some damage, but get in close. And as soon as I got my arms around him, it's over. You can't do that in boxing. So it's like, then no, I don't feel confident in him winning. It's a huge payday. He got a ton of money, but maybe that was the inspiration. I'm like, God damn it. I just don't want to get beat up like that. Like he was a professionally trained fighter that people were expecting to be successful in this fight. It's very strange. And then also, Andy informed me last night that people are speculating that he took a dive. Have you like I don't I don't think he's that good of an actor. Like he got no that I am not afraid of offending. Obviously, I'm not afraid of offending actors. I'm still waiting on the reply from Meryl Streep. Grappling on submission only, no time limit, and you tell me if it's an art form. So we can start in any position. That ball's in your court, Streep. I'm not even talking about striking. I know that if it was if it was a mixed martial arts fight, that fight would have gone way different. It's like that's the thing is I think Jorge Masvidal talked about it. It's so funny how much he talks about Ben Askren when he says like, "Oh, I don't need to talk about him. He's fucking nothing." Like, yeah, you can't like that knockout. Like that made Jorge Masvidal made Jorge Masvidal, but Ben Askren has been on the losing end of that. Of like, man, oh man, to say like he takes losses well, but like I think he probably could have continued, but he would have just gotten punched a lot more. I think he could just get punched a lot and take it. I think that's it. That was part of his superpowers. Strong head, strong will. I don't know. Ron says, "Are we talking Meryl Streep Street Fight?" Yes, Meryl Streep Fight. That's fun. Street Fighter. Hey, John, Photoshop idea. Street Fighter. I like that. Thanks, Premium Ron. I like that. John, did I say that, John? Which one did I say there? Sorry about that. Premium Ron Barindo just gave one of the best. Look at it. I'm trying to read it. There we go. Are we talking Meryl Streep Street Fight? And then I just did that little thing right there and mixed them. I have a quick work call. I want to call in and talk Askren. Okay, awesome. We'll get back into Askren a little bit, but I'll go into maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was kind of like he just like he did things. There was things that I know that I was doing that like just instinctually I've watched from being a fan of like fighting and stuff like that. And this is not like I'm not at all saying that I could fight Ben Askren successfully, even in a little, not even a little bit. I don't want any of that smoke. Love you too, John. Have fun on your work call, buddy. Come back and we'll talk as much Ben Askren as you want, because I have a lot more opinions on that fight. But it like my own thing was when I wanted to do I wanted to do like, so I had to realize why I actually wasn't making that call, why I wasn't doing any of that. And it was me being, first of all, I had to realize like, hey, you've never actually been in a fight, like fight, where it was you against another person, like even like at all. So like that realization. So then I'm like, oh, okay. So I have no idea what to expect. This is me being afraid. I'm afraid to do that. Like it didn't mean that the desire wasn't there anymore. The desire was still there. So I kind of had to like, I had to baby step. That's my process. I feel like with a lot of things. And luckily Dominique is incredibly patient and I love her. My wife is wonderful, and she's very patient in the sense that she's willing to wait for me to make those incremental differences to better myself. So like in this case, she doesn't consider it me bettering I don't think she necessarily considers it bettering myself, but she's worried about me doing it. But it's something that like, it's not like I don't even want to say like, oh, I needed to do it. I just really want to learn that skill. It's something that like, especially when I'm commenting on it so much, like I feel like I want to feel like I watched it. I went back and watched I watched the Whitaker and Gaslam main event again. That was awesome. Like anybody that wants to be introduced to a great mixed martial arts fight, that's one I think you would really enjoy, and it's free. It's on ESPN. It was Kelvin Gastelum against Robert the Reaper Whitaker. Awesome guy, great personality. Love that guy too. Another one that's like a cool dude that doesn't talk a lot of shit. He just like he's a big gamer too. Shout out to Ron. I think there's like a, so I'm watching. Sorry, I watched the fight live, and then I watched the fight, and I was kind of, and unfortunately, it was late, and I was dozing. That's another reason. Not a pro athlete. We all know it. Just laying on the couch, just kind of like dozing off during this incredible mixed martial arts fight that I rewatched today. And even after like one class, I'm like, oh man, I get so much more out of how much better they are at it than I am, and how naturally it comes. And I have so many like, I have the same excitement I had when I started jujitsu. So I was right in knowing that I should try it, but like it's so weird. So I don't know I haven't been able to work out the like like the lesson necessarily, but like there's something here where like don't stop like trying to challenge yourself, because I also took a judo class. Yesterday was I was at the gym for like 4 hours yesterday. I drank 64 ounces of water and I never pissed once, and I probably was way too dehydrated still. Like I trained no gi jujitsu starting at 12, and I went into MMA training, got punched a little bit, almost almost headbutted somebody, because again, time, that's another thing too. I think it's going to help with as of right now, self-diagnosed dyslexia that I have. It's kind of a weird thing that the one two like the combinations and stuff like that, and the movements of them, the timing is something that I think it's only going to help me in all other aspects of either martial arts, performing in general, and overall like mental health. It's something that the punching in the head might like go back and forth, but we're sparring. We're not like we're not like trying to take our heads off. The thing I realized about just taking hits is once you figure it out, you can take them. Uh, the fight's really, the fight really opens up. Yeah, exactly. Everyone needs to get rocked a few times. Great. Actually, you know what? I just you just reminded me, Ron. I wasn't technically. I was in one one-on-one battle with somebody at one time. That's saying the word one too much. But you reminded me of it was after a night of karaoke at this gay bar in downtown St. Petersburg, and it was a tattoo shop that we used to hang out at all the time in downtown St. Pete, where for tattoo artist from you might have seen him on Ink Masters a couple times. He is the tattoo artist known as Aaron Is. That's the Aaron, and then is the word is. Aaron Is. He's a great artist. He did this again. This is his early work, and I did not take care of it super well. But he's done some of the work on me. I believe he did that one there. It's a couple other ones, um, but mainly he's my friend. Like we hung out at the bar, and we would sing karaoke. We get pictures. We play pool. It'd be a lot of fun. And we went back to the tattoo shop, and me and my buddy Ben, very good friend of mine, Ben, down in St. Pete, he was definitely a tough guy. He had been in a lot of fights. He actually he also got a tattoo of me on his arm, which is really strange. Because I was his little I was his buddy. Like I was Pat. Oh, look at Pat, he got a little Pat bat with little Converse and little glasses on it. I was, I wasn't like he didn't even think ill of me like that, but like would like obviously he could take me. So I don't know. We were just and I always like joked around with him, obviously, to say like, oh yeah, I could definitely kick your ass. But like he would do this, and then I'd play into we'd do bits. It'd be great. We went back to the tattoo shop, and they had boxing gloves there, and we each got, what's up? Hey, Cupcake, how's it going? I'm talking about the one and only like kind of fight I've ever been in. And we each got a glove. He went with his, I think he put on the left hand glove, and I got the right hand glove. So I got my dominant hand, and he got his less dominant hand, I think. And and I'm learning more in striking that I don't know if like you have like they say, oh, his left is great, or his left is he's got a really strong jab, or whatever it is. I had nothing. I had no knowledge of any of this. So we started a one glove boxing match. We each have one, and we start doing that, and we're pretty wasted, but so we start going, and we're kind of going a little bit, going a little bit, going a little bit, and he just starts like wailing on me, like, and so much so that I ball up, and he goes, "Oh, it's okay, buddy," but like I hadn't It was a cheap shot. Let me just say that. I like, well, bam, railed up and just like whacked him right in the face and gave him a black eye, which was awesome. That was a great feeling. Also, the great form too. Like it actually kind of took him back, but he hit me also like before that, like definitely rocked me so much so that like he did the thing where like he hit me straight in the face and it like just had me make a noise where it's like like that like I didn't voluntarily make the noise. It's like he pushed it out of me. It was like my head was a squeeze toy. Like he would so like he definitely rocked me, but I just balled up and then when he was like, "Oh," and he was kind of like bent over, I just went bam and just like rocked him right in the face. That's that's the closest thing. That's the only time I've actually felt it. Like somebody punching me with their, and that was not full force. It was not him trying to beat me up. He wasn't trying to hurt me. So this was another thing where I was like, well, I want to learn how to defend myself, but also how to like properly strike. Like if ever needed. I don't, it's one of those things that like it's something that and being able to take more out of the sport I enjoy watching and appreciate it. Like I appreciate it so much fucking more when I see something like when it's so like the things I'm taught, I'm thinking like, what? Why isn't he putting his hands up like this? Like, oh, because it's a different style. Like Anderson Silva, like there's the styles of boxing and stuff like that. The Thai boxing or not Thai boxing. Fuck, what is it? What's Manny Pacquiao? Fuck, what is it? God damn it. Joe Coy is also Filipino boxing. Is like where like you kind of keep your hands down here. It's I honestly I'm fucking I am as excited as when I started to train jujitsu, and it's interesting to me. I got punched in the face. I got punched, like I got taken down. I got punched in the face. I checked a kick. I successfully checked a kick. It's crazy to know what a calf kick feels like, what a thigh kick feels like, whatever. Like the like any of those things where like the amount of and then now that makes a lot more sense when my thigh hurts. Holy shit. I was like, oh, it must have been all those stretches I did. No. It was because I got kicked in the fucking leg yesterday. But it's honestly it's one of the most interesting and challenging things I've done, and I'm very proud of myself for overcoming a fear. I highly suggest, if ever possible, try to overcome a fear. Isolate a fear and try to overcome it, especially if there's a desire to. I had a desire to see to inform myself like of some like a thing I really liked. It's kind of like going, I don't know, like I didn't play a lot of sports when I was younger. I didn't do a lot of things like competitively in that sense, and I don't like the competitive aspect of like comedy. I like the artistic form of comedy or talking, podcasting. I love that's what this was always meant to do. This was never to be again just me. It's you guys talking, I talk. We each have that, going to HMAC tonight. I was thinking about it. I'm doing a podcast with Ian Strong tonight. Shout out to Ian Strong of Strong Words with Ian Strong. He invited me over to his house for a conversation, and those end up going, obviously it's going to be around 6. So I don't know what time the mic starts, but I was planning on going, yes, and I am planning on going from now on as well. There is an open mic at HMAC. It's a lot of fun. That I love that place. It's a cool place to perform. It's very interesting. Um, sorry. And then Premium Ron says thigh kicks hurt so bad. Yeah, but like I was like, oh, okay. Like it's so strange to like like the guy. Like I told the guy literally the first time I've ever done this. I've never really like it was and also shout out to DC, who is another person that trains at the gym, who is a pro fighter, I believe, semi pro fighter. like part-time pro fighter. I don't know. He's had a couple, or maybe amateur fighter. I don't know what the actual term is, but like he was super patient and really helpful, and was like very professional in the sense that like knowing that it was like it was a it was something that I had like no expectations for. I've never done something like that. I only had my made up expectations of like, is it gonna hurt? Am I gonna like it? Not like it? But and maybe that's part of it too. Maybe they have maybe that's the trick. They go like, oh, make this one kind of easy. But I learned how to like throw a punch properly, throw a couple different punches properly, as well as a knee. And like I'm no Jorge Masvidal, but I'm just saying that if somehow it gets misconstrued where I'm talking shit about Ben Askren and he gets wind of it, I'll take the heat. You know, he got paid $500,000 for that fight. That's a lot of money. And I think that's basically it. I think that's where it's like he goes, I can take damage for money. It's kind of like Steve-O. You know? He's like, yeah, go ahead and punch me. Oh shit, you did knock me out. Oh, son of a bitch. And he's just counting his money. You know, and I brought up the scenario last night in the episode, great episode of What About with Pat and Andy. You guys should check it out. The audio only episode should be out. We talk about Poison the Well. The album is Versions by the artist Poison the Well, excuse me. But I brought up the scenario of could be like a dodgeball scenario where maybe old Ben Askren also put $500,000 down for him to get knocked out in the first, and he was just because he's just standing there. He's like this flat. I don't know. We'll talk about that a little bit more. John wants to pound off about that, and I appreciate that because he is not starting out White Boy Summer very strong. I also heard about some sexual allegations against a guy, that guy Chet Hanks. God damn it, John needs to hurry up so I can fucking take a drink. God damn it. Sorry, I hate that. I was just listening to a show recently, and somebody kept clearing their throat on mic or like just like over here, and I was just like, oh, fix that fucking problem. And then also I do that. Oh, I almost did it there. But yeah, so Sunday now is officially training day. That's where I just try to go to the gym. I would like to, if possible. I'm vaccinated. You know, I don't know what else to do except for just to try to get that other variant. Apparently, I don't. You know what I mean? Like, if I don't feel well, I'm not going to go. Oh, John's here. God damn it. I don't know if John is somebody who has ever fought before. But at this point, I think a lot of people are feeling pretty confident. Hey, buddy.
Hey, what's going on, man?
How's it going?
Good. Right when I was signing on, I guess at some point I set the limiter of how long I can be on Instagram.
Oh, really?
Like, have you ever done that? Like the timeout, like it'll say like you spent and your allotted hour on Instagram. I set that like months ago. Every day I just hit the ignore for a today button.
You should just go. You know what I did actually after that one and only episode that I had multiple Amber alerts. I fucking shut that thing off. I don't want any more emergency notifications on that son of a bitch. And right after I hit that setting, I hit the thing that said, no more of this. And I closed out of the fucking window. I immediately got a and it was just like one more for the road. Motherfucker. It sucked. So you wanted to pound off about Ben Askren.
Yeah, I mean, as the fight expert that I am, yeah, I mean, I do own a punching bag as well as gloves. So, you know, kind of a boxing expert.
Yeah, obviously.
I don't know. So I wanted to throw this theory at you, seeing as how you're, you know, well-versed in contact sports and as well as wrestling. This kind of feels like the Pauls are almost just trying to take boxing into the idea of like sports entertainment, professional wrestling.
Yeah,
they're
kind of
like, because it's sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, they kind of like it's them and like Mike Tyson is kind of doing a more legitimate kind of version. It's almost like
the Legends thing, right?
Yeah, it's like the Legends series. I like that because like I still am on the fence, and it's so funny that Dominique's here now to hear this part of it. But I am not still convinced that I don't want to compete in mixed martial arts. Like, I know not professionally. I'm not going for any fucking titles or anything like that. I'm saying though,
Yeah.
as far as like, I don't know where this challenge like ends. I don't want to get seriously hurt for any reason, but I don't think I would get seriously hurt in an amateur fight. I think that's
Well,
the
that's
thing.
the tough thing too, is like,
I'm not going against Rob. I feel like Robbie Lawler against Ben Askren was like, that's like where, like, yes, you're going to get very seriously. Like, there's no way he didn't get hurt in that fight. There's no way
right.
he wasn't out. He was getting just murdered with punches right directly in his goddamn face. And I think he's just kind of a tough regular guy. And again, all due respect to Ben Askren, collegiate world wrestler, world $1 million champion guy. But I think the spectacle thing of it is they're trying to get back some fans that they lost to MMA, I think. And they're trying to do it with more of a spectacle. They don't have a Conor McGregor. Like, Floyd Mayweather was very showy, but he it wasn't like that. Like, but that was an interesting fight as well.
This is kind of my theory, is like, so if you take it back with like wrestling, before there was WWF and they had all the circuits around the country, at some point wrestling was a real thing. You know what I mean? And yes, it's real now. I get it. Manny and Youngblood don't have to blow me up and say it's still real to me.
Yeah.
But it's like, at some point it was just two guys beating the hell out of each other for entertainment, but it was still a real fight.
Yeah.
They realized the monetary value of, hey, let's still make this real, but let's script it.
Let's try to prolong our careers. Like, that's the thing,
right?
Is like, you're protecting
which has
yourself.
Now birthed one of the biggest, sports entertainment industry. It is the sports entertainment industry. My theory is, are like the Pauls and these influencers almost trying to do that with boxing? And then that's where the whole thing of, was it scripted? Was it a thrown fight? And like you said, like, he's not that good of an actor. But if you look at him, like, right before he got hit, he looks like he's never had training at all. Like, the only training I have is watching YouTube videos and hitting a heavy bag in my basement. And I carry my hands 100 times better than Ben Askren was there.
Yeah. John, did you, I know this is, I'm not here to criticize, but did you happen to take my advice and watch the Damian Maia against Ben Askren professional mixed martial arts UFC main event?
Yes.
Did you watch that?
It was a while ago. You told me to watch that a while ago, but I do remember watching it.
That's all the evidence you'll ever need that Ben Askren was on the wire then. Like, it's like he retired after that fight. And look, man, I don't understand why. I do understand why they didn't grapple, I guess, because they're both world-class grapplers and you don't want to play to the other guy's strength. But, like, it's also your strength, and you got to just take the hit here and see who's the best grappler. Let's turn this into a grappling match. God damn it. Get down on the goddamn mat. You guys look awful right now. I'm so sorry to criticize professional athletes in this ignorant of a way, but God damn it, it looked awful.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I think it's also the conspiracy, like, fan in me that, like, there's too many things there for this Ben Askren thing for it to not look like. So, like, I'll go through my list in my head. Like, to come in that out of shape, you had one job, man. And but is there also, like, behind the scenes, is this just long booking? So Jake Paul's people were like, hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, no, again.
Oh, sorry. Cut out for a second. Jake Paul's people may have been like, here's what we're going to do. Here's the storyline. You guys talk all this shit. Ben, you don't even take your shirt off in any of the pre-fight stuff. You come in the day before and you look like a sack of shit. Then we're going to, because, I mean, really all that does is it makes Jake Paul look more shredded. And the guy's already in great shape. He's got, personal chefs, personal trainers, all that stuff. But he looks stupid jacked compared to Ben Askren. So there's one. That's already a win for, whatever he's selling. If he's selling trunks or he's selling body cologne or something. Then, did you hear when the announcer mispronounced Ben Askren's name when they announced him?
Really? No, I didn't hear that at all.
my buddy pointed out. So if you go back and listen to it, he botched his name, and it's like there's two people's names you got to remember, and Ben Askren is not a hard name to pronounce.
Yeah.
So that also gets me.
It's not even Benjamin Askren. It's
right.
It's Ben Askren.
Yeah. Then it's like in the conspiracy theory mind, is that where Jake Paul's like, hey, announcer, here's another $50,000. Dude, just say his name wrong. That's going to be hilarious. Like, it just also builds Jake Paul up further and further. My third thing is the angle that I didn't watch the actual fight just because I was like, I'm not paying for this. I tried to get the stream, and I'm pretty sure I've just given all of my information to some third world country programmer.
I just did it to Zoom just so I can go live on Facebook. So we'll find out what happens.
But if you look at the angle that he got punched, then go watch the behind the scenes stuff of when Michael B. Jordan was training for Creed and taking this, because they're doing it like where it's like they're like, he's like, all right, fake punch, and then like, all right, rolling, and he takes one, and they said like he really did eat one. He really kind of got knocked out on set. That angle is the exact same angle that if you wanted to show somebody getting knocked out but not really show the contact on their chin, it was that. So all the things, it's, this is my chemtrails in the sky. This is my, jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams boxing theory. But there's something there that I don't know.
I don't know, man. I think honestly what happened was I think Ben Askren said, I don't know. I don't even think it's like necessarily like I don't feel fooled by it. Like I don't feel like somebody that was tricked by like manipulated in that sense. I think honestly I was just somebody who has been watching Ben Askren fight and knows that he is successful and has like superhuman strength with his like grip and his like squeeze. His wrestling is incredible. World class. Like I would never ever think I was ever out grapple him. But like if like give me some time. Like I just took one MMA class and I'm like, I mean, puncher's chance, who knows, but there's no chance. It's still obviously, but that's one of those things.
I don't know. It just amazes me.
Didn't train at all with
boxing.
And I don't think he ever necessarily focused on boxing itself. Like he maybe he can, I don't think it was ever like he was just like, I'll grapple. If I ever get in trouble, I'll just grab him.
Dude, the last his last Instagram post I was watching last night, Ben Askren, if you go watch it, it's one of those it's like body shaped machine where you punch wherever it lights up. Go watch that video and watch how slow his reaction time is so it's a dot that drags from the middle, and you got to watch it, and when it gets to whatever target, you hit that target. Oh my God, watch how slow his reaction time is on this thing.
And okay, so then that's what I'm saying is like, is he trolling the whole time? No, I think he's just somebody who's like, I can take some damage. I'm going to tire him out I think he was thinking rope-a-dope, but he fucking just ate I don't know.
Well, and that's my other thing too, is like everyone's saying, oh, well, how are you going to throw a boxing match? It's like, if you're paying me that much money, it's so slow, man. It's like embarrassing. And the punches are terrible.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, guys, just watch Ben Askren box.
But
he's an incredible mixed martial art. Look, I'm not even going to like this video. There you go, buddy.
Which makes me think like, but that's where if you are like, oh, you can't fake that. Like you're going to pay. How much did he end up making out of this? Do we know like the number of what was actually released?
$500,000 was Ben Askren's.
That's actually it. I thought he would have been more.
I saw a breakdown of it. I think Jake Paul made like $1 million. I think. By the way, guys,
I'm calling bullshit on those numbers. There's got to be so much more money that they made that's not being reported.
I think he dodgeballed it. That's what I said. I think he dodgeballed it, and I think he bet on himself to lose in the first round. Knew he could, and like maybe he's like, hey, if I get rocked enough, I'll get. It's like worst case scenario. I think he's a guy who is right now he hosts a podcast about like Bitcoin and shit like that. And like I think he's just a guy who is like a smart investor that was like, hey, if I take $500,000 to get like knocked out in the first round, where he was rocked for sure, gets up and goes like, no, I'm good. I think he's just tough. I think he got right up. Like
his leg, dude. When everyone's like he could have kept going, the next punch would have crippled him because he was the lean on the ref. You're like, oh no, he's good. He's getting his feet back. And as soon as the ref steps back, he's like, whoa, 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 where are you going?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. He's like, and he's like, am I ready to go or something like that? Like, I think he said like, are we ready to start? I think that's what he said. It was like,
what's for breakfast?
yeah. So it's I don't know if he can actually. So wait, what Ron say here? It's a bull market. Dips are normal. Hold your coins. Carry on. Yeah. So yeah, I think he's just somebody who's like, I'm gonna take the bet essentially, and know that like this guy is gonna crush me, or I can take the abuse. Like he might have bet like $250,000 for himself to get knocked out. He might have done that even. You know, like,
for it to only go a minute something, that's where you also think like, oh, this guy definitely bet. He put a parlay in there. Like, one, the announcer's going to get my name wrong. That's the weird prop bet. Two, I'm going to get knocked down the first round. Three, it's going to be under 20 or under 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Like,
I will say that most people in MMA, including Jorge Masvidal, were saying like what's his face, Robert Whitaker, in the post fight press conference was like, they told him about that. And he's like, wow, you know, he's like that's, you know, that's got a shot. He's like, that surprises a lot of people or something like that. And like, and I was thinking like, no, but then they go, would you fight Jake Paul for $500,000? And he's like, I'd do it for half. He's like, I'd do it for much less than that. Like, because I would crush him. Like that.
Right.
The thing is, like, if it was because he just pieced up, I mean, not pieced up, he just fought like another world-class fighter in Kelvin Gastelum, who can, he's like he can, every punch I gave him, he just ran towards me and he hits like a fucking truck the whole time. So he's like that's, if it was Jake Paul against either one of those main event people, like, then yeah, absolutely they would crush him, and I would bet all of my money that he wouldn't even stand like 30 seconds. Like they would just swarm him and just piece him up and he'd be out.
Well, what sucks now too is like now Jake Paul's calling out actual boxers. Like he called out Tyson Fury's little brother, Tommy Fury, which that sounds like a made up person to me.
Tommy Fury.
That's Tommy Gunn and Tyson Fury. They're like, call him Tommy Fury. Be a new character.
No, I will tell this. I'll say this. I wasn't so much disturbed by the fight or the call outs. Like, I want him to fight more legitimate fighters. I do.
Well, I do too. Well, because now what's going to suck is like, what if he does fight? So Tommy Fury's an actual boxer.
Yeah.
What if he does fight Tommy Fury and wins? And we're just like, God damn it. All right. We're all idiots.
Yeah. No, then you're like, wow, he's a legit boxer. He can keep going. Like,
yeah. It's also win-win for the Paul family too, because it's like he could keep calling people out, dodge people, and it's just more and more eyes on him. Yeah. And then they're like, hey, here's my brother at WrestleMania. You know, he's probably going to be doing something WWE for a while now, I'm assuming.
Yeah. It's the same idea. They're like, and people think that if he loses that he's going to go away. That's not what happens. Colby Covington has lost fights as well, and he doesn't go anywhere. Well,
it's win. Yeah, like I said, it's win-win. If he loses to a guy like Tommy Fury, he's like, okay, now this is my story and my journey of, you at least see me as I fought a real boxer. Now he would probably fight somebody lower level,
right,
and work his way up. I just think it's hilarious in some crazy alternate universe. What if fucking Jake Paul just works up to being like the next greatest boxer of all time? I hate it so much. I also am amazed that this guy's only 24. I'm just seeing that on an article.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I forget how old I am. I'm like, this guy's like 2 years younger than me.
Yeah. The person I was just talking about, Robert Whitaker, is like 30 years old. And I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well,
I hope he just keeps calling out like famous people's brothers too.
Yeah. Why not?
Like, just on anything. Like Ryan Seacrest's younger brother. Like, you think you can host a show better than me?
Hey, Chris Seacrest, I want to see you in the ring, or call out Meryl Streep like I did. But
Meryl Streep's sister, Cheryl Streep.
Oh, how inventive! No, they did they did a thing where I would say that if I wasn't disturbed by like the call outs, the event itself or whatever, except for the fact that like I'm so much less charmed by Pete Davidson than I think everybody else in the world. And I feel like the odd man out, but I hate to hear. What is Pete Davidson?
Yeah.
What is he?
Well, what's tough is like
Is he a
so many
stand-up comic?
comics I love.
Does he have a special? Does
He has a few.
does he really? Pete Davidson have a
Yeah.
special? Really?
He has one that's SMD and it's his dad's initials, but it's also Suck My Dick. I thought that was amazing.
Really?
Yeah, he's got like 2 or 3 specials. One is very bad. He has a one that was on his most recent one. It's terrible. But then he has one, I think it was a Comedy Central special. It was actually pretty good. And that's what's tough is like all my favorite comics, like all the New York guys like Big J. Okerson, Dan Soder, they all love and co-sign Pete Davidson. So I'm always in that camp too of like, who is he? But then they're like, look, this guy's been hilarious since he was coming to the Cellar at 16.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about him. Like I was so like I was so irritated that he was fucking there. And like I know he brought it up. Like he was like he was like a not a like he was at the commentary table for the fucking main event. Or I don't know for all the fights or anything like that. And him and Snoop Dogg, both of them having people that don't actually like maybe they're fans of it. Like I believe Snoop Dogg's a fan of if you listen to him, he's a fan of betting on boxing.
Yeah, but Snoop Dogg is the same commentary that like if you and your friends are sitting around, it's just oh shit and oh my god.
That's not as interesting to me to hear. Like I would like give me some insight. Like Pete Davidson's just kind of roasting Ben Askren.
But that's what it is. I mean, Pete Davidson and Jake Paul essentially probably have the same fan base. You know what I mean?
But it's already such a spectacle. Why do you also need like super? Like I don't understand the appeal of having people that aren't even necessarily fight fans. I feel like Pete Davidson was there to roast that event, to say like, you know what I mean? Like what like what the fuck,
yeah,
dude?
So now they're just mixing as many entertainments as they can. So it's roast battle, it's boxing, it's rap, it's Snoop Dogg, it's
and that's what I'm saying is I don't know, and that's me. I know obviously very little, if nothing, about Pete Davidson, and that's on me. But I just didn't know. Like every time I've seen him, I saw him actually in the Cellar once. When I was at, there visiting, obviously.
I was on the list, but they had to close before they got to me.
Come on, can we swap spots or something? I got bumped for somebody.
I had this 4 a.m. slot, and they were like, "We close it too."
And I was like, "Please, can I just go up there? I'll break in if you don't let me." But no, he and it's like I now that I remember him at the Cellar, but I didn't remember him actually putting out any specials or anything like that. I never I
mean they're
good.
They're nothing. You're not going to be like, this is.
But
my new groundbreaking thing.
But somebody like Jim Norton is a comedian who is also like a really big UFC fan and is also knowledgeable in the thing. Like
right.
He's a funny person. Joe Rogan is the perfect example. He's a prime example who is a stand-up.
Oh, is he involved in MMA?
He is somebody who's not only trained it but also done it I believe professionally, like a champion, and also is a stand-up comedian. Also somebody who I don't necessarily love their stand-up comedy. Look at that. But he's a funny guy who is a big fan of MMA. He's knowledgeable in MMA. It's the same thing. Why there are funny people who are fans of boxing. Why do you have to get the guy who's funny, not a fan of boxing?
I think it's also this is the epitome of like a TikTok culture event. And it's short attention span. It's nothing makes sense. Like A doesn't coincide with B, and it's like there's no reason or rhyme behind it. And it really could just be a generational thing where we're just used to, like you said, somebody like Rogan who is funny, knows his shit, and is great on color.
Yeah.
That's more of like our generation, we're going to say, is used to that. The TikToking of everything is just like, let's throw flashy music and colors and anyone we can get at it. That being said, we're going to have a bunch of random people on Hacks Season 2 this year. Pete Davidson, Episode 7.
Premium Ron was bringing up the fact that like he's probably actually kind of like a nice person, like in real. And I'm not saying this to criticize. I'm not saying anything. I don't want it to sound like that. I didn't know. I meant when I said what is he? I meant like is like as far as like his profession. Is he? I liked The King of Staten Island. I liked that movie a lot.
Yeah.
But I didn't love him as a character, and from what I understand, he was kind of just playing himself.
No, what's funny is I'm really starting to think about this. You and I are criticizing a sporting event where they take people that know nothing about the sporting event and throw them into it for entertainment purpose, which is exactly what we did with Hacks.
Oh no! As commentary on commentary. If it was Pete Davidson against Snoop Dogg, I would be like, fuck yeah,
Yeah, true.
Let me see that. I would be okay with like, but the fact that they were trying to say that that was an equal matchup as far as the fight with Ben Askren. I was more interested in the fact that Frank Mir was boxing, I believe, a person who was actually a boxer.
Yeah,
and
I didn't see that, but
that's what I'm saying is like they had the same commentary team for that fight. Like that's something I'm interested in seeing. Frank Mir was a fighter that I enjoyed watching and UFC and stuff like that. And another guy who's specialized in grappling, but he's somebody who beat Brock Lesnar in an MMA fight. Wouldn't you want to say I'm going to win over that guy?
I mean, when you're thinking about it, like Jake Paul, and I think it's Triller is the ones that put this fight on, right? They're like the big. Is that the name of it?
What is it?
Triller is the fight promotion, I think, did it.
I think so, yeah.
So when you think about it, he's working with them. If I'm Jake Paul and I'm Triller, I don't want somebody that's very knowledgeable about boxing commentating that, because all they're going to do is point out how much of a boxer I'm not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, think about it. You get like Freddie Roach in there. Well, Freddie Roach might not be the best.
He's like,
example.
Jake, he'd probably say Jake Paul swinging wildly, coming out, like one of those things of like, he's no technique, just running at him.
That's what I want. I want an old timey announcer. It's like, no, I got a real Donnybrook in
here. Yeah, I want either that or what is that another thing? That was one funny insight that I enjoyed from Pete Davidson was like, because now the whole fight's just free on YouTube now. It's just it's up there, and it's like and they made their money. They don't care anymore. He was like, he's fighting with that old timey style because he was just like this.
Yeah.
And he's just standing there.
The
and he's
fighting
like
Irish style.
He's like just turning wherever he was moving. So like, I know, like, dude, you gotta move a little bit, bro. Like,
I always think about that when you look at the fighting Irish thing. If you just punch the front fist, it punches the second fist directly into the face.
Then you have two and you hurt your knuckles here. Like
triple punch.
Ouch. So I quit hitting yourself. So there's a level of I have notes, like it's not that far off of being. I have no problem there being celebrity spectacle boxing. That's so fun.
Yeah.
I am totally okay with that. But
what's crazy is celebrity boxing used to be like the bar. Like I'm pretty sure Dustin Diamond Screech fought somebody at like this shithole bar, rest in peace, that has since been torn down not far from me in South Jersey. He fought someone there.
Really?
Like in a celebrity boxing match.
Oh, in a celebrity. Oh, yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
So it's come from being shitty bar stuff in South Jersey bars and wherever to.
But that's the compelling part. That's the compelling part of the whole entire thing, because I do remember that they did have like a celebrity.
It was like a circuit.
Like, yeah, it was like they went around for like, wasn't like Jimmy Walker in it as well?
Yeah, Tanya Harding was like the huge draw. She was the main event for a while. And it was like Tanya Harding versus like the Octomom or something like that.
she was like Tanya Paul. Like, she was a natural at that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with a spectacle, but make it a boxing spectacle that celebrities are in. Bring them into that world. Don't have this whole big stupid robot walking around and like. Was that like were they trying to rip off the NFL there?
I think they just got like the NFL robot and replaced the Jake Paul head on it.
The actor that played the robot.
He's out of work currently. The NFL is not in season, so.
And he just started like running in place. Like I was like, well, why do they have a robot? So I wasn't as interested in like watching it live. I was way more interested in the free professional fighters fighting on ESPN, which was again Robert. Like, dude, that was an excellent fight. He is much improved, but I think that the best point you've made here, and no offense to any of the other points you made, was the fact that having that commentary that you asked and fucking answered, John. You are a goddamn
That's what I'm here
genius,
for.
is the fact that why would you have Pete Davidson and Snoop Dogg on commentary? Because they're not real boxers, so you don't want to have them talking about how fucking shitty their technique is, win or lose.
Right.
That is
Right.
so brilliant. And
Hey,
it's perfectly set up. And you're absolutely right. This is, I don't know if this is a comparison that Ron meant, but it is much like the Kardashians. They're like building this perfectly. This foundation of like, because isn't the other Paul brother fighting Mayweather?
I don't know. That's like every day. I think they have something signed, but it was like Mayweather was like, "We'll do something."
Like he's gonna crush him. He's gonna.
I'd rather see like these guys compete, and like they don't seem smart, so I want to see them both compete in like Jeopardy, something knowledge based.
Yeah. That'd be good. Gotta bounce. Hell yeah, Ron. Thanks.
I think I got to get out too. So I'm gonna get on top of you telling me my points are flawless and cannot be contested.
Not one contestant.
I'm gonna hang up on you now. Please understand this, okay?
See you, buddy.
It won't let you hang up on people anymore. I don't understand that. But yeah, I'm never going to say I could do better because I know that. But it just kind of, I think that's the point I'm trying to make, is the fact that it kind of just looked like if I was in there with somebody who had been training and very, very raring to go. Also, is there any kind of P tests? You know, we don't know if there's any juicing happening. But yeah, there's definitely an element of like I got notes, basically. I'm not against it. It'd be interesting. I mean, like he's done the training. He did all this stuff. I don't know how disciplined he was, really. Jake Paul was. He looked more disciplined than Ben Askren was, and as far as his training. And also, it was a very short fight. He didn't seem to take too much damage. He should be able to hop back in the ring anytime soon. Squared circle, huh? Should be able to get back in there and get back on it. So whoever, if he's asking for whoever the Fury guy is, that's cool. Go for it. Let's do it. Woo. I'm down for it. I probably won't pay for that one either. But Ben Askren, like if you're feeling if you're on a high from doing that to Ben Askren, I don't know. Let's just say I don't. In closing, I don't think Jake Paul is any Jorge Masvidal. And that's no disrespect to any of the people. There's also another thing that we watched this weekend that I very much enjoyed, and the other vein of sports that I enjoy, and Dominique as well. We watched the Mighty Ducks show, the Mighty Ducks Game Changers. Fucking good, guys. It's a good fucking show. It's not just a good fora. It's a good fucking show. It's just, I don't know if it's kind of almost like sitcom-y. It's kind of ABC Family feel. It's got a Disney movie feel for sure. I kind of feel what Disney Plus is doing is brilliant, because I have a feeling that these were all probably meant to be movies. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Damn it. A lot of the Marvel, the WandaVision, the other ones, I think these were all things that were planning on being movies. I truly believe that, because that's kind of how they play out. There's probably edits made, or maybe in the middle of production they even said like, oh, we might have to do this, or we want more content, original content for this, because they already took all the properties, all the Marvel shit and everything, put it behind Disney Plus. But all the new stuff they're putting out, I think I'm really enjoying it. God damn it, The Mandalorian was great. Why wouldn't you? I don't understand that. I think it's just the production studio. Disney production studio is probably putting money type budgets onto these shows. So like that's what you really like, the fact that they're putting money and effort into it. Having Jon Favreau involved in Star Wars is fucking brilliant. Having shows like Marvel shows. Mandalorian is so fucking cool. God damn it. I think it's really interesting that the Mighty Ducks Game Changers is essentially just the Mighty Ducks. They're kind of Cobra Kai-ing it. The Mighty Ducks now are the villains, and they're got to do a new Ducks. They got to do whatever they're going to be. I don't know if that's. We just watched the first episode. Very enjoyable. You got your funny kid, you got your fat kid, you got your weird kid, you got your. It's great. Ragtag, any vein, any not vein, any style movie like that. The little kid ragtag group of like, it's just, you got your Bad News Bears, Little Giants. Anybody remember that movie? Great fucking movie. I wonder if that holds up. Rick Moranis and Ed O'Neill were the coaches. Okay, I don't know math, guys. Remember that off the top of my head. Love that movie. Mighty Ducks 2. Quack. It has a very, I just realized that, it has a very Cobra Kai feel to it. And maybe, and it's like a professional. Like Cobra Kai started out, I believe, on YouTube Red. So that, like, there wasn't a, or maybe it was Amazon Prime. I might be downgrading it. Is that a downgrade? It's probably a downgrade. It's just a great show. It's like a, so hold on, I want to give the actual. It's cool because it's very much cartoon. They're not like hammering it down. Actually, this might go to the contrary of what I was saying about it being originally shot as a movie instead of a show, because pretty quickly into the show there's like a actually, you know what, it's still the thing where Coach Bombay just doesn't want to have anything to do with hockey. It's just Mighty Ducks again. So it's there's a Coach Bombay, that guy, he owns a ice rink this time. And now, hold on, I want to actually get the synopsis here. Hold on. Mighty Ducks. This movie inspired a hockey team, right? Game Changers. There we go. IMDb. Come on now. Go here. All right. So, after failing to make the cut to join the now powerhouse Mighty Ducks junior hockey team, 12-year-old Evan's mother encourages him to form a new team of underdogs with help from Gordon Bombay, the Ducks' original coach. So, actually, I wonder what this is rated at. 7.7. All right, out of 10. Should I rate it? I'll rate it too. 10 stars. I just want to skew it. Nope. No, they need me to sign in. Not going to do it. All right, but I want to find out the little kid. What's that little kid's name? Damn it. His little sidekick. This kid. Maxwell Simpkins. God damn it, this kid is fucking delightful. I don't know what else he's been in, but he's fucking funny as shit. Sleepover, Book of Henry. Yeah, a lot of, looks like just like kids shit. This kid, breakout star. Like, God damn it, we were just talking. I don't know why. Actually, this is pretty funny. I wish John was still around, pounding off here. But this is, I need this kid to be okay. This kid cannot turn out to be like a child star like everybody else. But he plays hold on, let me go back here. Oh, now Simpkins. There he is. Nick Gans. He's a little podcaster. He's got a little lisp. Cute little kid. Don't normally say that, but God damn it, that kid is awesome. He's hilarious. Cute in the sense of like charming. Love that kid. Very, like, it's, so I think they say 10 episodes all together. So 10 half hours, so about 5 hours. So yeah, it's about, they probably shot a movie's length worth of shit and then cut it down. Oh, hey, John. Oh, hey, John. We need that kid, Simpkins, to be okay. Okay? We need to protect him. We can't have him boxing people in bars down the street from your house. Maxwell Simpkins, hilarious. John, I highly suggest you in particular, you and your wife would probably thoroughly enjoy. I don't know if you actually like that. I don't know if it's meant for kids, but the Mighty Ducks Game Changers, very enjoyable, and not just in a nostalgic way. Emilio, it's good to see Emilio Estevez. There's a weird angle that they seem to be going with, from what I've noticed already, is him being kind of this guy who just eats shitty food all the time. I feel like there's going to be, so that's what makes me feel like it's a life lesson of like, yeah, when you eat terrible food and stuff like that, it'll make you feel bad. They aren't really hammering home too much of the everybody's allowed or everybody's invited. Like they're just saying like, yeah, you're a fat kid, but you can be the goalie. You're really good at reflexes. Find your strengths. It's like good messages too. So it makes me feel like Dom and I like, oh, God damn it. We just eat that shit up, man. We're into it. That shows that we like, not like where it's like hammering it home, like after school special style, but when they're like can sneak in a good message like that, or like everybody's invited, everybody's allowed to do this. Cause like truly like the shit, like they do the angle that I don't really like. It seems really lazy, and it seems like people my age or older writing for, or maybe I'm off base. I don't know. But when they do the angle of like the mom having a blow up or the parent having a blow up that goes viral, and it like makes the kid embarrassed at school, like I feel like they do that a lot, and like just seems very lazy. I don't know. But the I like that the kid, like, man, the first fucking episode. What's going on, Ian? Ian Strong's here. Goldberg went to, yeah, he went to direct porn. Yeah, on to direct porn. Sorry. Goldberg got fucked up for a while. Goldberg was fucked up for a while. And then he came back. He's back now. He's doing better. And you know what? I wonder if Disney had something to do with that a little bit. Like, kind of like, hey, man, we're going to be doing this reboot. People are going to be Googling people. They're going to be doing a Where Are They Now? Let's fucking shape up, huh? When they introduced the reverse retro jerseys for the Mighty Ducks, I believe, or for the Ducks. I want to find out that. I got to find that out. I'm pretty sure the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, the Anaheim Ducks, I want to find out. Yeah, I know I didn't spell Anaheim right. Duh. History. Let's go here to Wikipedia. The Anaheim Ducks are a professional ice hockey team based in Anaheim, California. Now, if I remember correctly, they were born of the movie. The movie, the property was like, hey, this movie was so successful, let's start a real live California hockey team named after the movie. But let me double check. That's what I'm double checking right now. So I wanted to say that on record before I actually continued reading, just in case I am right. The club was founded in 1993 by the Walt Disney Company as the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. See, that's even how I was. See, that's how you know I'm not lying. So I was going to say that Anaheim. I don't even know how I actually spelled it. I'll back up to actually give you the what I said. But it was the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, a name based on the 1992 film The Mighty Ducks. Disney sold the franchise in 2005 to Henry and Susan Samueli, 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 Samueli. I don't know. Who, along with the general manager Brian Burke, changed the name of the team to the Anaheim Ducks. Before 2006-07 season, sorry. The Ducks have qualified to play in the Stanley Cup playoff. Yeah, we know that 14 times. And they've also won one Stanley Cup. Anaheim are Disney owned. Yes, the movie was first. The Pond is such an incredible name for their arena. The Pond. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, right? Isn't that fucking perfect because of the Ducks? It's so good. But no, so yeah, the Anaheim Ducks were born, and honestly, and they could have been a fucking washed up bullshit team, but they ended up turning out to be a legit team. But when they introduced the reverse retro jerseys, which were the throwback, which is actually what I'm wearing. I'm wearing the reverse retro t-shirt, Nikita Kucherov player t-shirt. How do I turn that? There we go. And when they introduced those, they had some of, I think they had Goldberg, and I'm sure some of those other kids are going to be in it as well. Probably some of these, probably featuring, because they want to have them, like, hey, let's give you another credit. Let's come on up here. Come on, you're a guest star in this here Disney show, but clean up your act, Goldberg. Pretty good ratings too, 7.7, 7.8, 8.0. I highly suggest the Mighty Ducks : Game Changers. Not just for nostalgic purposes, because we're only one episode in, and really, honestly, how good is of a suggestion is that to say you should really watch this show? I've seen one episode, but one episode in, I'm fucking hooked. I like it. Perfect mix of like positive message, funny kids. I love a funny kid, man. Funny, clean kid is always enjoyable, but I do like a kid that curses. That's always fun. I went to the Ducks. I want a Ducks jersey that says "Cake Eater" on the back. So yeah, I wonder if there's going to be like a positive message of like, if you eat right and you take your vitamins and blah blah blah, you can do this, and stop eating junk food, kids. It'll help your outlook, and there's lots of good stuff there. When he has that big cake, he eats the cake, birthday cake. Love it. Watch at least the first episode. Give it a shot. If you have Disney Plus, give it a shot now. I'll tell you. Hold on. We finished watching The Serpent as well. That was like. Turns out, I said in the last one, the last episode. I don't know if we had finished it at that point, but very enjoyable. I wish Charles was around to talk about it as well. Hopefully, I'll probably see him at the mic tonight. That's what he was talking about. Talk about the Serpent. Same old, same old. Serial killers are always the same. They got bad relationships with their mamas. It's weird. And not like bad, not like, oh, you know, this or that. Like you have tiffs or maybe disagreements. Like there's like deep-rooted resentment and weird shit. So like, just, John, give the missus a little note. Try to have actually not a lot of, I don't know about lady serial killers as far as girl serial killers, girl serial killers, but lady serial killers, if I may. I don't know what their relationships are as far as that stuff, but women are more versatile with let's say weird conflicting relationships. There's a lot of times they rebound well. Men seem to either become serial killers or just very resentful people. So in most cases, as far as like relationships of that manner, but I love any I like the story. I don't know. It was made it made you think that this guy was, Mr. Smooth Talker, but everybody's just talking shit about him the whole time. I've heard people talk about that before, where they hate that, like they kind of seem to like, I don't think I'm trying to think of the word, like hold up the serial killer like as a celebrity or as like a cool guy or like, like funny or it's weird. I don't know. I think people criticize the Ted Bundy movie that that Beautiful Man was in. What was his name? What was that Beautiful Man? Zac Efron. He played like Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy? Was it Ted Bundy? I need Google. Hold on now. Zac Efron. You know it. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Google. Let's look up his IMDb. He played somebody, and they're like, yeah, you made him like gorgeous, and he was a good looking dude, but like Jesus Christ, it's killing a Zac. Oh no, all those pre-production. He couldn't have been too far down, right? I want to find. Oh, here it is. The great. Nope. he was Ted Bundy, and extremely wicked, shockingly evil and vile. Good. It's a good movie, but it was kind of like it was more Hollywoody. This kind of seemed more like again, he was like cool dude going around Elaine, killing a bunch of hippies, stealing from them. But then it all comes down to his relationship with his mama. Charlie's one. Yeah, there's that one. That's the thing. Anytime I say lady serial killers, that's the only one people can like really come up with right away. I guess technically, if you watch the show Serpent, the Serpent on Netflix, I guess technically, if you're an accomplice to a serial killer, does that count at all? But it wasn't really her motivation. She wouldn't have killed if he wasn't. I don't think. She was just manipulated into being like helping in that sense. So, but then continue the relationship. You got to watch the show. It's a great show. Highly suggested to me by somebody who criticizes us of our Arby's eating, Ian, but Sir Charles Baynard himself suggested that movie or that show directly, and he couldn't have been more spot on. We fucking love that show. The Serpent on Netflix is fucking great. I highly suggest it. I know I probably talked about that. I just wanted to make sure. I don't know if I erased it from my notes, and didn't erase it from my notes, or if I added it after the fact to make sure that was a point I wanted to talk about. But I had it here on my list, so I wanted to make sure of that. And then also, it's a good thing Ian's here actually, because I wanted to talk about that too. Ian invited me to be on a guest on his podcast, and I am very grateful for that. We're going to be recording it today, and to be honest, a lot of people out there have podcasts. I don't take it personally that you didn't ask me to produce them. You know, I'm reasonably priced, I feel, but I don't take any offense by that. If you can do it on your own, I support people. If you're motivated to podcast, to do it. The one thing that does kind of bother me is the fact that other people didn't ask me to be on. Nobody ever asked me to be on their podcast. And to be frank, I'm way better at it than most of you. You should want to have me. I'm very delightful, super charming, and I'm not going to kill you. You know, I'm not a serial killer, but I feel, unless I'm completely off base, guys, why wouldn't you have me on your podcast? So this is an open invitation for me to be on your podcast as a very special guest. We can do Zoom. I could probably do it in person too. You know, I can travel. Hey, these legs, they aren't painted on. I can move, baby. I don't just turn the camera off and then just sit here. You know, I can move, baby. So I'm putting out there. Maybe it's people going like, Pat probably doesn't want to do podcasts. Of course I do. That's all I fucking do, man. So like, you know, let's do it. That's why I do it like this. That's why I do GDP like this. I do GDPLive like this so we can talk. So it's like a talk. It's like a podcast with other people. I never intended GDP ever to be a solo podcast. In fact, even early on, I did a show. A buddy of mine that I co-host What About with, Andy Malafarina, used to do a show called The Dope Show, and he used to do an hour or more exclusively by himself. Now he streams a lot. He talks. You know, he does it already. Like he does a lot like this, but he doesn't have the thing where you can add, you can comment. Obviously you can pound off in the comments, but he doesn't do the Instagram thing where you can call in and everything. But that's kind of what it is like you join in, then we're doing a podcast together. It's like literally that easy. It's also a good exercise for a lot of comics. I highly suggest the medium, but if you're going to do it, come on, man. Ask your boy. I'm right here. I got the set. I even have this whole setup. So if you do it over Zoom, I'm right here. I have been asked before. And then when I go, oh, yeah, so when should we do it? It's like, no follow through. Guys, like, let's do it. Let's podcast together, huh? I got some pound in here, guys, huh? Let's, hold on. Oh, damn it. Ian says, Oh wait, no. John says Charlize's best role was playing the adult idiot on Arrested Development. That was very funny, actually. It's a good point, John. John Montag, Pound and Hard. I like that. Ian says this will be your second appearance, but first solo. I'm excited. I do agree with that. I'm just as excited, if not more. Ian, I almost called you John. I apologize. How dare I? Ian continues and says, I take a lot of pride in producing my own show. Yeah, no, that's not the true criticism. I'm here to help if possible. But I also, I'd like to do it for money. But that's not the point. If you're podcasting, baby, like, let's do it, man. Let's talk. Let's podcast. Come on. I asked to be on hold on. I asked you to be on my golf cast. Now you're the CFO, CMO, GMO, and OPP. Yeah. Well, I don't mean to take over all shows. That was not my intention, John. I wanted to be on your show. Oh no, is that true? Yeah, actually, you know what? That's actually a really good point. I'm going to take what you said there, and I'm going to take it with the best of intentions and say, yes, if we do a show together, maybe I will become the producer. Maybe I'll get so inspired, and it'll be one of those things where, wait a minute. This is the final piece of the puzzle. Oh, maybe a eventual third mic, huh? There's some podcasts I produce, I'm on mic. Some podcasts I produce and I'm not on mic. I'm open to either, baby. I'm here to help the motivated podcast, whether it be by joining in as a guest, giving insight, perspective. If I could say it, perspective. I can't say it. I promise I can talk well. I'm just closing in on the second hour of streaming, and I am fucking hungry as shit. I felt like I could not eat enough yesterday. That's going to be something about my training day that I'm going to enjoy, is finding the point of how long I train, how much water I can keep in my body at the same time of afterwards, how tired can I get to keep me from eating so much garbage. I ate pretty well yesterday. Wait, hold on, let me remember. I had a gyro and a salad, some French fries, not a lot, some. And then for dinner, I had a poke bowl, not like a poke ball, poke bowl. And that's it's kind of like a sushi bowl. It's pretty good. I highly suggest it if you ever see one. Read the reviews. Make sure it's okay, because it is a lot of times raw fish. But then not like I'm just I felt like my stomach almost immediately began rumbling, right as I was going to bed. So that's also partial dehydration. And my piss stunk. You don't need to know that. Obviously, we're open here on GDP. We try to keep it loose. But I try, and also no pee break, because that's part of it. I have not put enough sustenance and water, if that's included in sustenance, I don't know, hydration in my body. But I'm excited the fact that I still I feel like I just can't eat enough. So I'm gonna eat a whole fucking pizza. I'm gonna eat the rest of the salad that I didn't finish with my gyro yesterday. Probably eat the rest of those French fries, and I don't know what else. And then eventually edit, But I'm coming up on the, it's tiring. It takes a lot of the brain. I didn't take any Ben Askren type hits this weekend, but I did take it. It was fun. It's weird to say it was fun getting punched in the face. But I don't think it's one of those things that it's really cool. I wish I had started earlier. I wish I had but I wasn't even clear of why I wanted to do it. So if you are scared of something, try to isolate, try to find out what you're fucking scared of. And not that you should always just do fucking exposure therapy and just be like, I'm scared of spiders, so I'm just gonna find a fucking spider. Not like that. Like weird stuff. Find out what, why was I was trying to figure out why I was nervous about it. I figured out like, oh yeah, because you're scared because you haven't experienced that before. So go experience it. It's not, in the best of environments. Seize the moment in that sense. Like to say like I'm nervous or I have this fear, because even looking up early on in the show, I looked up uh the greatest fears shared by people or whatever. And obviously that'll change from person to person or neighborhood to neighborhood, town to town, whatever it may be. But there's still a level of like, it's kind of weird, like fear of success, fear of failure. Huh? Like those are both, and I'm sure, they might be third on the list and fourth on the list here, but then for some people it's like that's my greatest fear. A lot of people, public speaking. The fact that failure is a fear is kind of crazy unless you're in a field that like is like life or death, obviously. But if it's just like, oh, I'm scared that I'm not going to do well at this show, like, I don't know, man. Obviously, Ben Askren was not scared. That's what I can say. All in all, like, Ben Askren wasn't too scared to fight. And there's not like and he was in physical danger. So there's a lot of situations that people I think are scared of or hesitate, where they're not really in like serious physical danger or anything like that. So yeah, just isolate and eliminate. Hey, get out there, podcast. If you're nervous about having people on your show, like, figure out. That's the thing. I was more I was more nervous about like reaching out to people individually and saying like, would you like to be a guest? Would you like to be a guest? Would you like to be a guest? That like it felt weird and presumptuous in the sense. So like, if I know my worth and my skill as far as talking, I know that I can do it by myself if I need to, but I don't prefer it. That's why I put that out there. So I can say, instead of me saying like, would you like to talk to me for 2 hours? Would you like to talk to me for 2 hours? I'll just talk for 2 hours, and whoever wants to join is more than welcome. And at whatever capacity, whether it be during the show on Instagram at Baby Mermaid Productions, if you pound off in the chat, or you ask to join, either one of those. If you want to be a guest co-host, I've been doing a lot of guest co-hosts for whenever Dom's not here. And even if Dom is here, you can join in. There's plenty of things. You can pound off on Facebook, watch on the Gross Domesticated podcast page, or my personal podcast page, podcast page, or YouTube after the fact as well. Baby Mermaid Productions there, and you can subscribe. And I got other podcasts like Falls Count Anywhere, Proper Ebonics, lots of fun stuff. What About with Andy and Pat? I actually have to update that playlist. Make a note of that. So also, if you want to see me live, not on a screen, but in person, I will be on a couple shows coming up. And that's what excites me. That's when I start feeling like things are coming back. I have 2 shows now officially booked in May. Finally, multiple shows in the same month. I'll be in Northumberland on the 7th of May. That's a Friday at 8 p.m. The tickets are $10 and it's 21 and up. And honestly, both of these shows, this is what I'm excited about, things coming back from the pandemic. The shows that I am doing are like fucking awesome shows. I was on a show, the one I did in Easton. Shout out to Joey out there. It was me, Manny, May, fuck, god damn it, Jay Simpson and Dorian, and that was the thing, was like, it's funny that if either one of those 2 guys are there, that you're like, oh, Lemaire's there too. No Lemaire. Can you imagine though? That would have been a sellout crowd. But this one has Zach Hammond, Chris William, Manny Santiago, and myself. So that one is I can't oversell that show. That's gonna be a fucking fun night. And obviously seating will be limited, I'm sure. So if you'd like, check out that show. That's the Fun Size Comedy Show in Northumberland. I believe that's called Fun Size. Sorry, that honestly, I should get more details on that. I got as many details as I could before, and as well as Saturday the 22nd, I'm going to be in Danville, PA. I don't have a ton of details on that one, but that's at 8 p.m. and that one has Lemaire Lee himself and me and Jared McCauley. That is going to be another fucking excellent night. So if you can make it out to either one of those shows, I highly suggest, or if you know people in that area, have them check their local listing. I don't know where those would be. I'll obviously be sharing the flyers and shit like that on my social media. So that's another reason to be following Baby Mermaid Productions as well as me on Facebook. Just friend request me. I honestly add pretty much anybody. As long as I can kind of verify that you're not a robot, I will add you. Because the more people that see me going live and possibly want to join in, the better. So I do appreciate you guys joining in. I'm going to go cook that goddamn pizza and I'm going to eat the whole goddamn thing. I cannot wait to eat an entire pizza. So thanks for joining in. I love you all.
Gross.